Good morning, sweet friends. Happy Tuesday. Is anyone else absolutely freezing this morning? Is it just me? It is so cold. Oh man, I just dropped an earbud behind the chair. It's 31 and there's a frost. I looking fine on my face, and what I got was a frost. This is weather. Freezing warm, freezing warm. Throw in daylight savings time and the requirement for a daily nap. I'm just a mess. I need summer, you guys. I'm ready for summer. All right, friends. March 11th. Boundaries of the land. Numbers 34, 1 through 15. Then the Lord said to Moses, give these instructions to the Israelites. When you come into the land of Canaan, which I am giving you as your special possession, these will be the boundaries. The southern portion of your country will extend from the wilderness of Zin along the edges of Edom. The southern border, I can't read this morning, sorry. The southern boundary will begin on the east at the Dead Sea. It will then run south past Scorpion Pass in the direction of Zin. Its southernmost point will be Kadesh Barnea, from which it will go to Hazar Adar and on to Asman. From Asman, the boundary will turn toward the brook of Egypt and end at the Mediterranean Sea. Your western boundary will be the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. Your northern boundary will begin at the Mediterranean Sea and run east to Mount Hor, then to Lebo Hamath and on to Zedad, and Ziphron to Hazar Anan. This will be your northern boundary. The eastern boundary will start at Hazar Enan and run south to Shephem, then down to Riblah on the east side of Ain. From there, the boundary will run down along the eastern edge of the Sea of Galilee, and then along the Jordan River to the Dead Sea. These are the boundaries of your land. Then Moses told the Israelites, this territory is the homeland you are to divide among yourselves by sacred law. The Lord has commanded that the land be divided among the 9.5 remaining tribes. The families of the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have already received their grants of land on the east side of the Jordan River across from Jericho toward the sunrise. Leaders to divide the land, Numbers 34, 16 through 29. And the Lord said to Moses, Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun are the men designated to divide the grants of land among the people. Enlist one of the leaders from each tribe to help them with the task. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders. From Judah, the leader is Caleb, son of Jephunneh. From Simeon, Shemuel, son of Ammihud. From Benjamin, Eladad, son of Kislon. From Dan, Buki, son of Jogli. Manasseh, son of Joseph, the leader is Haniel, son of Ephod. From Ephraim, son of Joseph, the leader is Kemuel, son of Shiftan. From Zebulun, the leader is Elizaphan, son of Parnach. From Issachar, the leader is Paltiel, son of Azan. From Asher, Ahihud, son of Shelemai. And from Naphtali, Pedahel, son of Ammihud. These are the men the Lord has appointed to divide the grants of land in Canaan among the Israelites. Towns for the Levites, Numbers 35, 1 through 8. While Israel was camped beside the Jordan on the plains of Moab across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, command the people of Israel to give to the Levites from their property certain towns to live in, along with the surrounding pasture lands. These towns will be for the Levites to live in, and the surrounding lands will provide pasture for their cattle, flocks, and their other livestock. The pasture land assigned to the Levites around these towns will extend 1,500 feet from the town walls in every direction. Measure off 3,000 feet outside the town walls in every direction, east, south, west, and north, with the town at the center. This area will serve as a larger pasture land for the towns. 6 of the towns you give the Levites will be cities of refuge, where a person who has accidentally killed someone can flee for safety. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, 48 towns with surrounding pasture lands will be given to the Levites. These towns will come from the property of the people of Israel. The larger tribes will give more towns to the Levites, while the smaller tribes will give fewer. Each tribe will give property in proportion to the size of its lands. Cities of refuge, Numbers 35, 9 through 34.
The Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, designate cities of refuge to which the people can flee if they have killed someone accidentally. These cities will be places of protection from a dead person's relatives who want to avenge the death. The slayers must not be put to death before being tried by community. Designate 6 cities of refuge for yourselves, 3 on the east side of the Jordan River and 3 on the west in the land of Canaan. These cities are for the protection of Israelites, foreigners living among you, and traveling merchants. Anyone who accidentally kills someone may flee there for safety. But if someone strikes and kills another person with a piece of iron, it is murder, and the murderer must be executed. If someone with a stone in his hand strikes and kills another person, it is murder, and the murderer must be put to death. Or if someone strikes and kills another person with a wooden object, it is murder, and the murderer must be put to death. When they meet, the avenger must put the murderer to death. So if someone hates another person and waits in ambush, then pushes him or throws something at him and he dies, it is murder. Or if someone hates another person and hits him with a fist and he dies, it is murder. In such cases, the avenger must put the murderer to death when they meet. But suppose someone pushes another person without having shown previous hostility, or throws something that unintentionally hits another person, or accidentally drops a huge stone on someone, though they were not enemies, and the person dies. If this should happen, the community must follow these regulations in making a judgment between the slayer and the avenger, the victim's nearest relative. The community must protect the slayer from the avenger and must escort the slayer back to live in the city of refuge to which he fled. There he must remain until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the sacred oil. But if the slayer ever leaves the city limits of the city of refuge, the avenger finds him outside the city and kills him, it will not be considered murder. The slayer should have stayed inside the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer may return to his own property. These are the legal requirements for you to observe from generation to generation wherever you may live. All murderers must be put to death, but only if the evidence is presented by more than one witness. No one may be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. Also, you must never accept a ransom payment for the life of someone judged guilty of murder and subject to execution. Murderers must always be put to death, and never accept a ransom payment from someone who has fled to a city of refuge, allowing a slayer to return to his property before the death of the high priest. This will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from murder. You must not defile the land where you live, for I live there myself, and I am the Lord who lives among the people of Israel. Women who inherit property, Numbers 36, 1 through 13. Then the heads of the clans of Gilead, descendants of Machir, son of Manasseh, son of Joseph, came to Moses and the family leaders of Israel with a petition. They said, "Sir, the Lord instructed you to divide the land by sacred lot among the people of Israel. You were told by the Lord to give the grant of land owned by our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. But if they marry men from another tribe, their grants of land will go with them to the tribe into which they marry. In this way, the total area of our tribal land will be reduced. Then, when the year of Jubilee comes, their portion of land will be added to that of the new tribe, causing it to be lost forever to our ancestral tribe." So Moses gave the Israelites this command from the Lord. The claim of the men of the tribe of Joseph is legitimate. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zelophehad. Let them marry anyone they like, as long as it is within their own ancestral tribe. None of the territorial land may pass from tribe to tribe, for all the land given to each tribe must remain within the tribe which it was first allotted. The daughters throughout the tribes of Israel who are in line to inherit the property must marry within their tribe, so that all the Israelites will keep their ancestral property. No grant of land may pass from one tribe to another. Each tribe of Israel must keep its allotted portion of land. The daughters of Zelophehad did as the Lord commanded Moses. Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah all married cousins on their father's side. They married into the clans of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Thus, their inheritance of land remained within their ancestral tribe. These are the commands and regulations that the Lord gave the people of Israel through Moses while they were camped on the plains of Moab beside the Jordan River across from the Jericho. Where did my
Where did my bookmark go? All right. I know, me too, Jamie. Me too. All right, we are in chapter 50. This one is called Moving On. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." Change is a part of life, and although we may not like it, we must all go through seasons of change. Last weekend, my oldest son graduated from high school and is now preparing for the move to college. This transition is a momentous occasion in our family's lives, and it reminded me of the transitions we have to take spiritually. In order to be more like Christ, we must continually go through the transformation process, and sometimes it can be uncomfortable and even overwhelming. We all want to move into a place where God is able to work through us in a greater fashion. Like John the Baptist, we want God to increase and us to decrease, but we must encounter many transitions in order to move into this position. Oftentimes, we become stuck in our transition because we do not understand what is happening. Watchman Nee once said that we can make our trial shorter, but we can Watchman Nee once said that we cannot make our trial shorter, but we can definitely make it longer. This is what happens to us sometimes when God is trying to take us to a greater level of faith, dependency, and power in Him, but we fight the process and force it to drag out. To gain greater insight, I began to look at the similarities between our natural transitions and our spiritual transitions. We must learn to recognize and understand transition in order to move to the next level with greater ease. Here are two important characteristics of change that we should know. Change can seem overwhelming. When we were preparing for my son's graduation, it was at times overwhelming. There were many deadlines to meet, a great deal of money to be paid, and countless plans to be made, not to mention the emotional toll. My son was overloaded with preparing for ceremonial events, keeping up the final grades, and leaving his friends. There were 10 days when it all seemed to be too much. Similarly, when we go through spiritual transitions, we can feel overwhelmed. It seems as though everything is changing, and we are not sure what is happening. The important thing to remember is that transition is supposed to feel unsteady. Not only is God transitioning us from one position to another, but He is also transitioning us into greater dependency on Him. I'm going to stop right there. This is an extra long one, so I'm going to stop right there. We'll pick up tomorrow. All right. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I need a nap. I can barely hold my eyes open. This is ridiculous. I'm literally sitting here like my eyes are burning. I need to go down. I am so out of whack. It does me too, Meredith. It's ridiculous. I don't know why it messes with me as much as it does. But between that and going back on the low dose of tirzepatide, when I first started taking it, it made me really, really tired. And so it's completely out of my system. And now that I'm taking it again, I have to go through that again. So between that and daylight savings time, I took a 2-hour nap yesterday, and I'm literally could go lay on the couch and just take I was going to say a 20-minute nap, but actually it would probably be 2 to 3 hours. It's a mess. And then I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. I didn't need to be up at 5. I don't know why, but I was up. I'm like, okay, ready to go. And now 3 hours later, I'm ready for a nap. It's pathetic. I'm sorry, Mary, that you're dealing with that. That is a mess. Tony has that really bad, and it's a mess. Be praying for that. Yeah, it really does, Jackie. I am just completely out of whack. I know. Same, Faith. I slept through the night last night. I took a 2.5-hour nap yesterday afternoon and then went to bed at 9:30 and slept through the night.
There's no reason for me to be tired at all. No reason. But I am so sleepy. I did just take my essentials, which can make me sleepy, and that could be why. Because I haven't taken them in the morning in a couple of weeks. I don't know. All right. Let's go ahead and end in prayer. I should pray with my eyes open or I might fall asleep. All right. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day and this time together and time in your word, drawing closer to you, our God. I pray for each person here and the struggles they are going through. I think of Mary this morning, and I ask for your healing for her tinnitus, that you would just take that away from her today and help her to recover quickly from that so that she can do all the things she has to do and not be dealing with that. God, we just pray for your peace and protection over her. God, I pray for everyone here that has struggles going on, that you know the struggles in each person's life. You know the struggles that they're not talking about. You know the struggles that we know about. And I just ask for your provision, your grace, and your peace today to surround each and every one of us, and for us to look to you most in our time of trouble. God, as we go through our day, help us to honor you with all things that we do. In your precious name, amen. All right. So I really should cook breakfast. But what I really want to do is go take a nap. I mean, would it be the end of the world if I took a nap at 8:30? Marin will get up and I'll be asleep on the couch. What on earth? I need some ideas for breakfast. Does anybody have any ideas? Something easy? I've got sweet potatoes in the fridge. I'd like something simple and warm because it's cold here. It has to be warm. It has to be simple. Maybe I should just do a stuffed baked potato, a stuffed sweet potato, stuffed sweetie, cottage cheese and stuffed sweetie. I don't know. I have to think on it. Whatever it has, it needs some caffeine in it, I think. All right, girls, I love you so much. I'll see you in a few minutes, hopefully, for breakfast. Won't take me too long. I always say that, and then somebody calls. Sarah. We're all just over here complaining about daylight savings time and how much of a trouble we're having. I know. That sounds good. Espresso oatmeal. But honestly, I don't think I don't know that I'm on my second cup of coffee. I had regular coffee this morning. I'm on my second cup and I'm still asleep. I don't know that I can handle any espresso this morning because I've had too much coffee. I'll figure it out. All right, girls.